let me be very clear. There is no rift in the Republican Party. Yes, there are some folks like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massie who are quite skeptical of this. They are very much in the minority. What are we talking about here? Well, why don't we just talk the GOP on the U.S. military ousting Maduro? Ipsos, 65% support, 6% opposed. How about the Washington Post poll? 74% support, just 10% opposed. The vast majority of Republicans are with Donald Trump on this issue. Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene are very much in the minority. Very few Republicans are with him.
You say they're with him on this issue. Do you even need those words, this issue?
No, I don't need the words, this issue, because the bottom line is this. Donald Trump has had an iron grip on that Republican base for a long period of time, and it is the same iron grip that he had 6 months ago. I know every so often people are trying to say, oh, I spot these little rifts in the Republican base. Oh, you know, they're finally starting to break. They're starting to break from Donald Trump. It ain't happening, at least when it comes to the approval rating. Look at this. 84% 6 months ago, 85% now. You don't have to be a mathematical genius to know 85% and 84% are basically the same number. In fact, 85% is 1 point higher than 84%.
US President Donald Trump has addressed House Republicans this morning, celebrating his ordered strike on Venezuela as, quote, an amazing military feat. Speaking at a Republican function, the US president defended his decision to capture the South American nation's leader, Nicolas Maduro, on the basis of human rights. He also mocked the Venezuelans' imitation of his dancing before boasting about the high-risk operation undertaken in Caracas.
It was an amazing military feat that took place yesterday. People are saying it goes down with one of the most incredible. It was so complex, 152 airplanes, many. Talk about boots on the ground. We had a lot of boots on the ground. But it was amazing. And think of it, nobody was killed. And on the other side, a lot of people were killed. Unfortunately, I say that, soldiers. Cubans, mostly Cubans, but many killed. And they knew we were coming, and they were protected, and our guys weren't. You know, our guys are jumping out of helicopters, and they're not protected, and they were. But it was so brilliant.
Meanwhile, a row has erupted between President Donald Trump and his Colombian counterpart, Gustavo Petro, as it seeks to deter the U.S. from replicating military action in its country. The U.S. president already calling Colombia's leader a sick man who runs cocaine mills, while speaking to Air Force One reporters last week. Today, President Petro issued a statement on social media saying, Trump speaks without knowledge, stop slandering me. If the US bombs, the campesinos will become thousands of guerrillas in the mountains. And if they detain the president, which a large part of the country loves and respects, they will unleash the jaguar of the people.
And US lawmakers are expressing their concern over Venezuela's future in the aftermath of President Trump's military operation. Questions are being raised over what the next steps are and whether other countries are on the line.
We had a very good day.
President Trump boasting to Republican lawmakers Tuesday about his military operation in Venezuela.
It was brilliant tactically. It was an incredible thing.
The president maintains the U.S. is not at war with Venezuela, but says there's a lot of work to do before the nation can have new elections.
They have their opportunity to chart their own future. They're being given that opportunity.
I look at Venezuela and Cuba as countries full of very talented people, and you'll never realize that potential until you have new leadership.
Top administration officials involved with the raid to capture Nicolas Maduro briefed congressional leaders Monday. Democrats are unsatisfied, still seeking answers on how many troops will be involved, how much it will cost, and whether other countries like Cuba or Colombia will be next.
This is how we get into endless wars. A one-day plan to get rid of Maduro, but no idea of what happens after.
The raid caught lawmakers by surprise. There's a renewed push for Congress to have more say in how and when the U.S. uses military force.
I think bombing a capital and removing the head of state is, by all definitions, war.
If it's okay for the U.S. to topple the government of a sovereign nation, why isn't it okay for China to do that in Taiwan? Why isn't it okay for Russia to do that in Ukraine?
Administration officials will brief the full Senate on Wednesday.